for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up and get to where you're supposed to be. The Bible says he was in a pig pen and he came to himself and he went home. Get your butt up. You are a royal priesthood. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live. You got all the stuff. You got it all. But you will not outwork me because your height has nothing to do with my work ethic. Your faith has nothing to do with my work ethic. Your two-parent background has nothing to do with my work ethic. You will not outwork me. On your jet, you will not outwork me. In your Bentley, you will not outwork me. You will not outwork me. Get up.
Hello, fam. It's your girl, Miss Diva Trucker, and I'm coming to you tonight because I have some motivation for you guys. It is a Friday, okay? It is the end of the week, okay? And what I'm trying to do is I want to actually encourage and inspire and motivate you all, especially the entrepreneurs out there. Can I get a mic check? Let me know if you can hear me or you can see me. Y'all not talking to me tonight, and I don't know why. Why are you not talking to me? But yeah. Let me see. Let me put this over here. Just let me know. Hey, Charlie. There we go. I know I'm on Facebook. At least I know I'm on Facebook. Okay. So, basically what I wanted to do tonight is I want to give you a history lesson. Okay. If you've been around in a trucking industry for a long time or whatever the case may be, a lot of you guys are new. Okay. Can I get that light out of there? Okay. A lot of you guys are new in the industry and you're coming in and or you've been in it for a couple years, maybe 5 to 10 years. Hey, Changela. Hey, Silver Trucking. How are you guys? Okay, I got my YouTube family over here. So you know what? We're going to break it down to all the way down to the beginning of the Teamsters and things like that. Okay, the Jimmy Hoffa days. Okay, if you've been around in trucking for a long period of time and you remember when Jimmy Hoffa was supposed to be the greatest thing to trucking because of he demanded where they had unions and they had to make sure that they gave everybody pay raises and things like that. And they demanded you had to meet at the table and all this kind of stuff, that he was trying to do for the trucking industry. One of the things that he accomplished was, having a pension for truck drivers. Okay. And also paying you what you was worth at that time. Okay. The reason why a lot of people don't talk about Jimmy Hoffa is because he was a criminal, a crook. He had this other side of him as far as he was taking the money that the truck drivers had put towards a trucking fund and for their pension, and he was loaning it out to the mob. That's how Vegas got built. Okay. So, he had, mob connections and things like that, allegedly. And they say that he was giving the money out to the people in Vegas so that they can build their casinos and things like that. And a lot of people didn't like that. Okay. So this is during your Kennedy days and all this kind of stuff. Hey, this is during your Kennedy days and all this kind of stuff. So, he tried to do a good thing, but it just didn't end up being a good thing. And then you have the disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa, and that was the era of the Teamsters. Okay, that was that. That is now dead and gone. The only thing that you will see as far as being a union or you being unionized or anything like that is basically going to be at your local level or in the warehouse or where you're going to have. That was the end of collective bargaining. Okay. So now we're in this new era where you have to earn what you get. There's no automatic raises, there's no, things like that. And I don't think we'll ever go back to the Jimmy Hoffa days. Okay, I think trucking companies will be turning over in their graves if we ever did that. But you still can be successful in the industry. That's why you see there's not a lot of representation as far as when it comes to owner operators, company drivers. When was the last time you got a raise? When was the last time, people or you heard that was fighting on your behalf? How many of you guys heard or know about OIDA, or about the things that they do for owner operators and what they do for you? How many of you guys know that? A lot of times when you're looking at organizations now, they tend to go towards the owners, the companies, the people that own the companies, the mega carriers, the Swifts, the Warners, the Knights. They kind of lobby in their behalf. You know why? Because they get paid a lot of money. OIDA is over $1 million company. Okay, Women in Trucking grosses almost $1 million a year. Okay, but do they really fight for you? Ask yourself, can you sit as a woman in this industry and say, what have these organizations actually helped me in my career? Okay. If something happens to you as a female driver out here on the road, is there places that you can go to? Is there somebody testifying for you in court, or are they testifying for the company? So there's a lot of change, and the company that has the money, they lobby for things to be on their behalf. Okay, so as a driver, as an owner operator, we don't have a lot of representation. We don't have a lot of people that actually fight for us. There's the Real Women in Trucking. Anytime that there's a case with assault, rape, sexual misconduct, anything like that happens to the women out here, Real Women in Trucking is who testifies for you. Is what is called expert witnesses. They're called to testify on your behalf to help support you in court when you bring cases of mistreatment, discrimination, retaliation, all these types of things. Okay. Women in Trucking never done that. Okay, they are supported by mega carriers. Okay, they are supported by a lot of corporate people. Okay, so all that representation that Jimmy Hoffa had brought in his day, even though it had to do with criminal behavior and gangster and mob and all that kind of stuff. The trucking industry doesn't have it. It doesn't have the same standards as what you will have in a corporate setting. Okay. So we have to, in order for us to get justice in the industry, we have to sue. Okay, we have to do class action lawsuits. Okay, and these companies, they save their money. They already know that a lot of times they're doing wrong, and a lot of things that they do will not stand up in court. Okay, so they save their money. They pay their lawyers big time. So a lot of times when you find yourself in a situation where something has happened to you, especially in a lease purchase program, that's why they have arbitration, because they don't want you going to court. Okay, the more that they can make you feel, or that you don't know your rights and things like that, the better. Okay, they could keep you in the dark. Okay, so it's very important that you have the proper representation and you watch where you're paying your money to. Why would you pay an organization or be a part of an organization that truly don't fight for you? If you do not know exactly what like, for example, I can give you one example. Owner operators in Washington, D.C. fighting for transparency when it comes to dealing with brokers and rates and things like that. Okay, I didn't see OIDO on the front line. They may have wrote a letter or two or whatever the case may be, but sometimes we take up our fight with the wrong people. Okay, we don't get organized. We don't have the right representation that sits down at the table for us to represent you. You know, we're kind of out here winging it, as you would say. And the power is really with the mega carriers. It's really with the organizations, you know, that keep everybody calm, cool, and collected. You know, so be careful of that. Understand when you come into this industry, it's a lot of bureaucracy, and God bless their heart for going up there to Washington D.C. and trying to make a difference, and having a plea for the president and going directly to President Trump, sitting on his front yard for days at a time, thinking that he's going to come to the rescue of truckers when he actually came out there and gave everybody, I think that he gave them hats, okay? And he said that, the truckers was up there to support him, when really they was up there because of the rates that was going on at that time for the owner operators. Okay, so it's crazy, and sometimes we pick up and choose our fights to and it falls on dead ears. Okay, so the other point that I want to make is, even after the fact, guess who he put in front of him? He did a press conference, had about 3-4 trucks out there on the White House front lawn, and all of those trucks that he had out there was a part of the ATA. And guys, if you don't know what the ATA is or what the ATA represents, I can tell you that they don't represent you. Okay, they are for themselves. Okay, so as a driver, you need to understand that. So when you pop up to Washington D.C. and sit on their front yard for a week or two, understand that if nothing happens, these people pay a lot of money for nothing to happen. Okay, so you always have to make sure that you get your right representation. But anyway, I digress. The video that I'm going to play for you tonight, a little bit of it is about 5 minutes of, and what it is, guys, it is the history of JB Hunt. Okay. And the reason why I'm playing this for you guys is because you sometimes are sitting there, paid off your truck. You want to be an owner operator. You want to have your own authority. You want to start your fleet. You want to do these different things, right? So a lot of that, I feel like if you understood what some of how these other mega carriers got started and how they became tycoons in the industry, it will motivate you and say, hey, you know what? If they can do it, I definitely can do it. So tonight's series is going to be on the legend himself, JB Hunt. All right. So give me just a moment, y'all.
Johnny Bryan Hunt was born in rural Arkansas in 1927. He was one of 7 children in a time of country churches, one-room schoolhouses, and the Great Depression.
We was poor sharecroppers. We got up way before daylight and worked till dark. So we worked 10, 12 hours every day, 6 days a week.
He grew up skinning logs and hauling them by horse and wagon, picking cotton, anything to make a little money.
He had 2 older brothers, and they went to school in a one-room school. And he cried to go to school, and the teacher said, well, just let him come too. So he started really when he was 4, so in the 7th grade he was 10, and he had to quit and start working in the woods, cutting logs and cutting timber and all with his dad and his 2 older brothers. Depression years and a large family. So he never did go back
As a teenager, Hunt worked in his uncle's sawmill, earning an adult wage of $1.50 for a 12-hour day. In 1945, Hunt joined the Army.
From the time I met him, he had lots of dreams and
He and John L. were married. They spent the first 20 years of their life together raising a family.
well, first year we were in business, we lost $19,000. And all the accountants and all the people that we were working with and all were saying, you'll have to close the doors. You can't go on. You've lost $19,000.
Yeah, I want you to buy the truck line. I said, well, Red, I haven't got any money. And he had 5 old trucks and 7 wore out reefer trailers. So we wind up making a deal. And then Rawson gave us the contract, and that's where we started the trucking business.
The Hunts relocated to Northwest Arkansas and focused efforts on the trucking business. Rates were regulated, and you could only haul a customer's freight if you secured legal authority. The business was brutal.
And it was before deregulation, and it was a challenge. It was not easy. I would stay awake at night and try to figure out how to get money from someone else. Calling at 5 o'clock in the morning and hanging up on me and me calling back 3 times, to get their home phone number and calling at home at night. I had no limits in what I would try to collect the money because it was that desperate. The Rice Hull Company actually had to keep that trucking company going for about the first 10 years.
There were some times when Mrs. Hunt personally dispatched me to customers' offices to collect money. So I would go and I would have some really difficult conversations with some customers about why we weren't being paid. But guess what? I always got the check. And she'd say, I knew you could do that. She'd say, Tom, don't ever be ashamed to ask somebody to pay it. We did the work.
Financial support from the Rice Hull Company, a president with more than 20 years of industry experience and great partnerships, were not enough to make a startup trucking company a success in the 1970s. More than once, they discussed dropping the truck line.
The early days was lots of hard work, lots of hours. We had a load board. It was a magnetic board where people would write the loads up. There was a camera on that board that was in Mr. Hunt's office. Every once in a while, you would hear this voice come over the intercom system up there and say, how many loads today?
1973 brought fresh energy and promise to the startup enterprise. The company added many talented young people who were intelligent, energetic, and willing to work very hard. That year, 19-year-old Kirk Thompson began working in the accounting department. Another future leader arrived on the scene. Wayne Garrison, a former manager of the successful Stuttgart Rice Hull Mill, joined.
Now, if y'all don't know who Wayne Garrison is, do y'all know who R.E. Garrison is? A lot of these people work with other companies to develop their own fleet, okay? To develop their own company. The people from Knight, okay, they work with Swift, okay? Garrison worked with J.B. Hunt. Miss Hunt, okay, the reason why she gets so many large federal contracts is not only because she's able to, they're able to handle the capacity of what the government may need from JB Hunt, and they have the trucks and the trailers and the drivers and things like that, is that she's a woman minority business owner. So these are some of the things that I want you to understand, that even if you're just now starting your trucking company, even if you're just now getting your authority and you only have one truck and you're driving that truck yourself, okay, you are the JB Hunts of the future. You are the Knights of the future, okay? And if you can just study their business plan and study how they moved in the industry. Guys, these people had it hard just like anybody else. You know, they was going to file bankruptcy at one point in time, okay? So this is the story that I wanted you to hear about.
The management team took an aggressive approach to growth.
About the idea that we built a fleet on a very standardized piece of equipment that was interchangeable, had the same parts, the same mechanical needs. Basically, a driver could get in one and couldn't know the difference between the next one. We put drivers in uniforms. We asked them to present almost a military-like presence. Very original at the time.
Starting tonight, don't let another truck leave this lot until the guy has got hard toe shoes on, t-shirts off. I want a collar on. I want him shaved. I want him haircut. I said, otherwise you just leave the truck on the lot. So many drivers got the haircut here and shaved, it stopped the entire sewer system. Did you know this company started making money and has made money every month since that day and become from the sorriest truck line to the best in the nation?
Historically, we've had.
That's why, guys, you have a lot of companies that require you to have a uniform, such as Walmart, Averett, JB Hunt, some of your other companies, because they believed in the professionalism. And let me also tell you what JB Hunt does. The reason why JB Hunt is the top of their game is because they appreciate their drivers. Okay. And you're going to have, let me tell you something, you're going to have people that, okay, I hate JB Hunt. I can't stand JB Hunt. They did me wrong. They left me there or whatever. But I'm talking about on an overall basis, okay? When you're looking at a whole business model, you have the vice president or the operations person or somebody at the top that if you worked at JB Hunt for 5, 7, 10, 15, 20 years, you're going to get a personal one-on-one call from one of these owners at JB Hunt thanking you for your service, let you know how appreciated you are, giving you awards and plaques and all this kind of stuff, because that is the relationship that they have with their drivers. Guys, if you want to be a JB Hunt, if you want to be a Knight, if you want to be a Swift, if you want to be a Warner, you have to model that same business plan, okay? They started with one truck. JB Hunt started with his truck himself. Okay. And then Miss Hunt got involved. Okay. Janelle Hunt got involved. Okay. And they ran it like a professional trucking companies. Like I said, they require everybody to have uniforms. They require haircuts. They require a lot of their drivers. So that is why they have such a longevity of drivers. You meet JB Hunt drivers, a lot of them been there 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever the case may be. Why? Because sometimes to people, money ain't everything. Okay, it's relationships that matters to some. Okay, and they appreciate that because they remember that, because they didn't have to do that. I don't remember anybody calling me and say, this, that, and the third. They don't have to do that. They do the business relationship. So follow the plan. Study these companies. Study when they began, study how they formed, study what it is that it took. Look at these videos so it will give you inspiration on building your fleet. This is what you should be watching. This is what you should be modeling your business plan after. Okay, if that is what you want to do, and you are not going to recreate, you are not going to do this. Take something, okay, that is already in place and model that business model. Let's talk about Burger King. Let's talk about McDonald's and Burger King, okay? McDonald's is number one, right? Everybody knows about McDonald's, how they sell their burgers, how they quick or whatever. So when Burger King came along, they didn't have to reinvent a whole new plan or what. They just followed McDonald's plan. Okay, everywhere McDonald's will put up a store, you will see. I want you to go down the street. I want you to go out and travel amongst or whatever. Everywhere you see a McDonald's, guess what? Burger King showed up right across the street. Everywhere because Only thing Burger King is worried about, they're not worried about Whataburger. They're not worried about any other hamburger stand. They follow the business plan or the business model of the number one in the country, the number one franchise, which is McDonald's. Okay. So you don't recreate the wheel. You don't go out there and make your own business plan or whatever the case may be. These people have set it up. They done set up the path to success. So when you're looking at JB Hunt, when you're looking at Knight, when you're looking at Warner, when you're looking at KLLM, you're looking at $1 million, $billion companies. So when you're up under that umbrella and you're working for them, study the business plan. Watch how they move. Watch how did it make you feel when the owner of operations or the VP of sales or whatever the case may be, what feeling did you have when they picked up the phone and said, you know what, hey, driver, whatever, called you by your first name, call you in the office and say, thank you so much for everything that you have contributed to the company. How did that make you feel? Did it make you want to stay there with them? Did it make you feel like you was a valuable employee? Right? So if you're going to be a business owner and you're going to have a fleet of trucks and you want to see JB Hunt status, or even just a small company of 250 trucks or 200 trucks, you have to follow that business model. Okay, learn as much as you can because you're not going to stay there long. Because once you become a boss, once you become a fleet owner, once you become the owner of a logistics company, once you become a 3PL, you're going to need people to work for you. Everybody is not going to be a boss. Everybody is not going to be a boss. There are going to be some loyal and faithful and happy employees, and they are happy to do that, happy to be there. Why? Because you give them that warm, loving, touchy, feely moment that they always wanted, right? And it may not even come with no money. But the fact that you called me into your office and said that I helped contribute, and you recognize, a lot of people love the fact of being recognized. Okay? So these are some mental thoughts that you need to take in effect when you are going under your own authority, when you're starting your trucking company, when you're building your fleet, when you're adding drivers, when you're doing all this kind of stuff. You have to have that relationship with the people that work for you because they will be loyal. And there's nothing wrong with that. It all depends on if that's what makes you happy. If you are happy being a company driver and you are proud of that and you're able to buy your house and take care of your family and you got benefits and you don't want the headache or the stress of a truck payment and fuel and all this kind of stuff, I'm going to call you on your first anniversary. I'm going to call you and ask you how your wife and kids are doing. I'm going to call you and tell you how valuable you are to me as a driver. Okay? Because I need you. We got to make this work. Okay? I can't be a business owner, a boss, a CEO, a president of a company if I don't have a relationship with my people. Right? Do we understand that? So this training that I'm doing with you guys right now is to help you understand that when you're called upon the entrepreneur side and you start to step out there on faith and you're wanting to run your own trucking company, maybe have your own brokerage, maybe do, all these other things, you're going to have people that work for you. You're going to have to be a team. You're going to have to make people feel that they are just as valuable as you are. Okay? In order for it to work, you can't do it by yourself. Okay? When we watching this video, did you see all these other people that come in and join the team? to make the team work, you are going to need to develop a team. You cannot run a fleet by yourself and be successful at it. And you are one owner, one-stop shop. You got to encourage others around you, and you got to build them up and make them feel like they are just a valuable part of the company. Right? Let's watch JB Hunt.
The Interstate Commerce Commission that basically told us where we could go and provide the company that everybody wanted to be. So we had this fantastic company of drivers in uniform, brand new equipment. It was clean, it was shiny. We had impeccable service, and we had the best operating ratio, and we were the most profitable guy in the industry. To Mr. Hunt, there was really no second place. There was only one place. You had to be the biggest, you had to be the best, you had to be the leader.
And as the company swelled to more than 500 and then 1,000 people, Johnny would still start his day the same way he had from the very beginning.
He would come in, and before he ever came upstairs to his office, he would start on the lower floor where the computers were and all. And he would go to every person in there, and he would speak to everyone.
He'd walk in, he'd have the jacket and the tie and the cowboy hat on. And before he ever even went in his office, he'd start going up and down the aisles of the company.
That happened basically every morning. He would come by each of us, pat us on the back. He would ask us how business was.
He would commonly refer that we were on the ground floor. And it's big, and we're going places. And he said it with such conviction and such enthusiasm.
Even though it was a small office, there was a lot of energy there. I can remember Mr. Hunt would bring customers through the office, and he would say, "This is the building with the most walnut paneling in the whole world." And I don't know if it was true or not, but he had a story because in his mind, big things happened there, and that's how he would sell it.
This high back seat better than that low back seat we used to have? Oh, I love it. It's a whole lot better. You got more shoulders.
Johnny's vision was infectious, and his experience as a driver was a distinct advantage. His insight combined with industry wisdom charmed both employees and customers. He cared deeply about each driver's personal and professional success, and he coached the drivers on matters of finance their first day on the job.
How many in this room is flat broke? And how many is bent bad? Let me tell you something. If you're flat broke, you're in the best room that I know of in the entire United States. 25 years ago, well, let's say about 27 years ago, I was over Ball Knob, Arkansas one night. I'd been driving this old truck all night, and when I went into the restaurant, I came out, and they had the big old neon signs going on and off. And when I did, there said a Coupe de Ville Cadillac. And man, I walked around that thing, and it was polished. And with a mosquito lid on it, it slipped and broke it.
Planarian, watchful over the enterprise, providing strategy, and continually seeking excellence. Together, Wayne and Kirk led the team through a new era of growth and profitability. They took a hard look at the details, trimming away what wasn't working.
When I started with our company, both Wayne Garrison and Kirk Thompson were in their early 30s. The entire group was very young. They were hungry, they were innovative, they were creative, they were very demanding. But at the same point in time, they were looking out for the best interests of the company, how we could grow, how we could improve each day. And I think they genuinely wanted good things to happen for all of our people.
Guys, this is
that
what
initial management team deserves the credit for the success this company.
This is what you need to do, and you need to pay attention to people that done these things before you. JB Hunt empowered those around him, okay, to be successful, to be the best that they could be. Okay, that's why he was able to grow his business, to have so many loyal people around him. And yes, who is this? Gavin, you sure you can't do it by yourself? No. In order to be a mega carrier like JB Hunt, you cannot do it by yourself. You're going to have to have a strong team around you that believe in the vision, that believe in what it is that you set out to do and what the goal is. Okay. And you have to put those people in place. So when you're looking at building your team, and I'm talking about a one person team or whatever the case may be, you have to start building these people around you so that they will also encourage, motivate, and inspire others around you. A team is very important to your success as a business owner. And you have to make people feel that they are empowered. Okay. Empower them to be leaders. Okay. Don't try to take on everything yourself. Okay. So that is why I'm bringing you the stories of these mega trucking companies. Because why are you just thinking about one truck, one trailer? It's just you and you're fine. You can reach so many other levels if you just think outside the box and be creative and build your team and come together and network. Do you know that the JB Hunts, they not on Swift, the Warners, all these people, they're not arguing with each other. Why? Because they realize they even have business meetings together where they talk about, helping one another, or how they could be more, what a driver's looking for, how retention, what they can do to keep their drivers and things like that. They discuss this. This is what they have the behind scene meetings about. The meeting of the CEOs, I would call it. Okay. So I don't ever want you to think that this is not something that is achievable for you guys. Okay. Because we all had to start somewhere. And a lot of these, you heard Garrison, y'all heard Garrison, R.A. Garrison, y'all, these people come from other companies, right? And they build their own mega carrier. Okay, so like Garrison come from the night people came from another company. They was under the rim of Swift before they branched off and did their own thing. Okay, so don't think that just because you're one person, one truck, or whatever. I want you to dream big. Okay, I want you to think big. I want you to put things in motion. We all had we've all failed at something. Okay, but if you do not try, if you do not put a plan in motion, then you will never do it. You will never be a JB Hunt. You will never be a Janelle. And this is a husband and wife company. Okay, and they built so, and after his death, she is still going. She's still going. She's still doing things in the community, building up. Is it Arkansas in that area? I think it's Springdale, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, but I want you to start studying and looking at these different companies and the things that they do to be successful. Here we go.
Truck driver the first time, but the only time, so I want to be sure I get that straight.
You're the first and the last. The first 10 years, I wanted out of trucking, period. It was a struggle. It was a struggle.
During that time, we started the trucking business, and the trucking business was very tough. And I guarantee you got to be a tough man to run the truck line. And I'm not tough, but I've got a lot of tough employees, and my wife is tough. She says I wear the white hat, and she does all the dirty work. But somebody's got to wear the white hat.
Let me tell you, women can get things done. I would stay awake at night and come up with ways to collect money. Imagine everything I could, because if you don't collect the money, you will not stay in business. But I would call them morning, noon, night. I did whatever I could.
When you're in business, the guy that's leading the pack gets too much credit, and his wife and his family don't get enough. So, forever what that's worth.
Johnny was not home on our anniversary for the first 25 years we were married. And so I learned what it was like for him not to be there, because I lived it. And I said, your anniversary can be anytime. But it was when he was home is what counted.
It's the quality time you make together. Be happy when you're together. Make the most of every day you are together.
When you go home, your wife's going to run up, throw her arms around your neck, give you a big kiss, since you left home, the kids have been sick, the dog's died, the plumbing's been stopped up, and everything's gone wrong. That's what she's been doing. And look at those four walls.
I never complained because he wasn't here from something. He was out doing what he was supposed to be doing. He was making us a good living. He was providing for us, and I could handle the rest.
I think what I'm doing is not running a company, it's building companies, starting companies. I'd say I've done about everything I want to do.
We all have to just do every day what our heart leads us to do and what we feel is right for us.
And like Johnny else says, what are you going to do today? I don't know, but I'm going to do something. Now it's the big day, today.
All right, guys. So I didn't want to take up too much of your time tonight, but if you would, as far as, and I'm talking about my entrepreneurs, I'm talking to my one truck owners, my people that has the authority. What I'm trying to do is I want to motivate you, encourage you to start building your fleets. Okay. Start hiring your employees, start building your team of people that wherever you are weak in, then you need to hire somebody that is strong in that area. If you're weak in accounting, hire an accountant. If you're weak in mechanics, if you don't know how to fix trucks and things like that, hire you a mechanic. Okay. Put people around you that are good at doing the things that you don't know how to do, or you may not have that knowledge in, because what you are strong in and what you are weak in, and you surround yourself with other people that are strong in that area, okay, you build a solid team. You build a solid team. And these people got to be willing to go through with you through the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, the whatever the case may be. Okay. And they want to see the success of the company. They want to see you grow. They have a pride in that. And it's very, do I allow people to lease under me? Not yet. I don't have my carrier authority as of yet. I won't have it until after the 31st of the year. But we are on the ground floor. Okay. I'm on the ground floor. Okay. So when you watching me now, it's me building. It's me building, putting people around me that are strong in areas that I'm weak, because I don't know everything. And you as an owner, you as a CEO, you as a president of the company, you will not know everything. You will have to depend on your team. Maurice says, hello, are you still with LTI? If not, how was your time there? I'm not with LTI anymore. And I appreciate my time at LTI because I learned so much. I learned about the business structure and how they ran the business. Okay. I paid attention. I listened. You know, a lot of us are so quick to complain and talk about how much our pay is and we didn't make any money. Who's in charge of your money? You are. You are. If you're not making what you think that you should make, if you are not making what you think that you're valuable to make as far as your pay, who has the option to change it? You want JB Hunt to change it? You're not in a union. You're not a part of the Teamsters. Everything you do in this trucking industry is up to you. So if you're not satisfied with the amount of money that you are making in the industry, what are you going to do to change it? Are you getting together with your fellow employees? What are you doing? But sitting and complaining, guys, sitting and complaining about what somebody else is not doing for you is not going to get you anywhere. These people own the company, and they and news alert, They can do what they want to with their company. And guess what? If you don't like it, don't work for them. You have an option. There's no need for you to be bitter at a situation or complain about a situation that is totally not working for you. So if it's not working for you, then you need to make sure that you put yourself in an environment that you are able to make it work. You got to make a change. Why complain about 28 cents and you not wanting to make a change? You don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay at CR England. They don't have any burglar bars. When you go to school, they didn't sentence you to 10 years to life. You got the golden ticket in your hand. And what is that, guys? It's your CDL. And not only can you be a company driver making good money, you can go out and have your own business. Have you tried that? You can go out and have your own business. You can go out and buy your own truck. You can determine your income and how you want to move in this business. You do not have to depend on a JB Hunt, a CR England, a Warner, a KLLM, or anybody else. Because why? You have the golden ticket in your hand, and that is a CDL. And what you choose to do with that CDL is totally up to you. So if you're not getting what you want at a company that you're at, you have options. You either can change it by grouping yourselves together and making some kind of a change or whatever the case may be. Okay? Or you can stay there. It's up to you. Nobody tells you if you leave, you're going to jail. So I don't get it. I don't understand the mentality sometimes. You know, we focus on things that if you know that there's not going to be a change, okay? See, our England been paying the same for 20, 30 years. Every week they have a class and have not increased the pay. But they can fill it up every week. Why? Why is that? And if you're going to another company and that doesn't work, you're going to another company that doesn't work, you're going to another company that doesn't work, maybe you need to evaluate self and see why is it that I'm going to all these different places and I can't seem to make it work. So either you're going to get disciplined and save your money and do whatever it is that you want to do, or you're going to continue to go to the cycle, continue to go through the cycle. I have not seen companies that be like, oh my God, yeah, we're just going to have to raise up the pay to 48 cents or whatever. They know that they can do that because people are still coming. Do you have to go to a sponsor trade, a sponsor paid program like CR England, like Swift, like KLLM? You know, where you take out these $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 loans just to get a CDL. Do you have to do that? Not at all. You have a choice. Put yourself, if you do that, put yourself in a situation that this is only temporary. We got to, sometimes I had to qualify before I won. I had to go to KLLM. I went to KLLM. Why? Because I didn't have any other means to pay for a CDL. My credit was not good. I couldn't go get a loan. I needed to make money in 3 weeks, like they said. So I was willing to do anything it took to just get that CDL. because I knew once I got that CDL, then I have the opportunity to change the game. I had the opportunity to start taking my power back. It was going to take some time. Why? Because you got to go learn something that you never done before. You don't get paid. They give you a bus ticket, put you on a bus, put you in the most roach infested bed bug stripper hotel that they could ever do, make you sit in there with another person that you don't know, that might not even take a shower, bathe, or whatever. And somebody is supposed to care about you and make you pay your own food. Bring you some money to pay your food. Okay? It reminded me of the army. But it was a choice that I made to do better. I had to sacrifice. I knew what it was that I had to do to get to where I wanted to be. And if I had to go through that, yes, I went through the bed bugs. Yes, I was on the truck with the trainer for 6 weeks and ended up in the hospital. Okay, because I drove so much, I got sick, everything swole up on me, and I had to go be admitted to the hospital while I was in training. And I kept going. Came out, worked for 88 cents a mile. Yes. It's a part of the process, because if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be able to develop a plan to pay off the truck, to develop a plan to get out the truck, to develop a plan to do other things. Now you can put yourself in a position of hiring. Now you can put yourself in a position of buying your own trucks. So take it as a learning lesson. If you do not like the situation that you are in today, make a change. Do something about it. Don't continue to go through the whatever it is that you're going through, the low pay, the not being able to pay your bills. There is no way in the world I would be out on a truck working 70 hours a week and bring home $100 check. Being away from family, kids, spouse, tying my life up for 6 years. You have a choice. Don't ever think that you don't have a choice. Take your power back. You are not powerless. Because if you and everybody else that is not getting paid or sitting or whatever, if y'all decide to not even show up or move the truck, guess what, guys? Somebody's going to come to the table and start paying you what you want. They are. Because they are not willing to lose millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, not you showing up. So you know what's going to happen? I'm going to call you and I'm going to tell you, hey, John, I appreciate you because you've been here for 7 years and you are such a valuable and dedicated employee. And I want to present you with this plaque. And I'm going to put you in a brand new truck. And if you want more home time, we got this new dedicated account that is going to give you more home time. Why? Because they was losing drivers because they wasn't able to get home. Drivers had families. So they come up with new lanes to get you home every week. There's companies that will get you home every week. Okay? Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim to the circumstances. If you're not willing to put in the work to make a change and an environment that you don't like, create your own. The reason why I chose to create Women-Owned Carriers and Brokers Association, because there's no presidents, there's no CEOs that look like me. Black female. Go find one. They're rare. So if you don't if you're not being invited to the table, if you're not getting your raise when you're supposed to, if you feel like people are doing you wrong as far as your pay and all these different types of issues, create your own. Create your own. Therefore, the only person that is in charge of you getting a raise is, guess what? Yourself. So you will have nobody to blame but you. The blame is on me. I can't blame LTI for anything that I do. I can't blame them for anything I do. Because everything I do from the time that I wake up in the morning to the time that I go to bed is on camera. And if you don't put in the work, and if you don't study, and if you don't research, and if you don't learn from these people that have been here before and started off with 1 truck, 2 truck, 3 truck, you're going to be at the next meeting in the driver's lounge complaining about, you know what, man, JB Hunt ain't paying me no money. I ain't making no money. Man, my check was $200 last week. I wouldn't even sit in no driver's lounge telling nobody that. I wouldn't. And what I say to you is not to put anybody down or make you feel bad or whatever the case may be. I say this to you because you can't. It's to empower you to do better. It's to empower you to make a change. It's to empower you to take control of your life. So you're not stuck in the situation where you're out there on the road and they tell you to get out the truck and you ain't even got enough money for hotel fee. You should never be in a situation like that. The Jimmy Hoffa days are gone. This is about you taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, making a change in your life to do better. Buying your house, buying your car, putting money away for your retirement. So having a conversation with another driver or, whatever the case may be, it's just not why complain about it if you're not willing to change it? That's why I don't understand. Why go to Washington, D.C. and stack your trucks up there and not move along when no one has a plan on how they're going to be accomplishing something? The thing about collective bargaining is that somebody gets what they want at the end of the day. When you went to Washington, D.C., who got anything? And people will bait you along and tell you, oh, we're going to develop a board and we're going to have meetings and we're going to do live feeds or whatever the case may be, because we're going to discuss the option of transparency, and so that brokers will be able to be more transparent with the carriers and put rules in place and all that kind of stuff. It's a bunch of BS. It's something that people are telling you to make you feel better. Okay? It's like giving a baby a pacifier and putting a pacifier in their mouth because they're going to tell you what you want to hear, but there's not going to be no real change. Don't get it twisted. So don't sit up there and think that I'm going to get my voice heard. How many times we've been to the truck show and they have these, what they call them at the truck show? They have these meetings, the FMCSA. They have these meetings that they have where you can stand up and you can, voice the changes that you want to have on the e-logs, and you want to do all this kind of stuff, and you stand up in front of everybody, and you come from this organization and that organization. Can anybody tell me when last time anybody changed anything for all that? I'll wait. I'll wait. Because it's smoke and mirrors. Okay. So you have to be able to take control of your own destiny. That's the only thing that I can tell you. Because if you don't take control of your own destiny, somebody else will, and they will pacify you and tell you how great you are and tell you how you're the best driver and give you the 1 million mile award or the 7 year or 10 year plaque or whatever the case may be, just to keep you right there. Okay. The biggest thing, and let me tell you what happened to me in my 6 years of trucking. Guys, I've been to college, okay, and Tulane University. I'm very smart. A lot of times I don't talk about it when I'm in the truck or whatever because I don't need my college degree in the truck. Okay. But I will tell you this. The moment I realized I wanted to be in logistics. Okay. The moment that I realized that I wanted to be in logistics and I wanted to be a broker and I wanted to build a brokerage firm and all this kind of stuff, I didn't go out and just do this on my own. Right. I called my company because why do I have to go and create all of this when my own company has a brokerage company built inside the company, right? So I went and I did the proper protocol. I sent emails to the logistics director and called my CEO and I said, hey, I just completed a class in logistics and I'm very familiar with freight, and I would like to have an opportunity to come into the office and be a freight broker, an agent, right? Timmer, why you want to do that? Why you want to do that? You're such a great driver. You're such a great driver. I mean, you bring so many people into the company. You're not happy with, driving the trucks. Do you need more home time? Do you need a raise? What is it? Why do you want to come in the office and be a logistics, a freight broker agent, okay, when you're a good driver? So that right there let me know that whatever it is that I did or how I wanted to progress within the company that I work for, I was nothing more than a good driver. Nobody gave me the opportunity that I thought that I deserved to go into logistics field. You know what opportunity I got? I got the opportunity to be a recruiter because I'm so good at it. I'm good at being a driver. I'm good at being a trainer. I'm good at being a recruiter, but I'm not good at being a broker. So you know what? When they tell you that you're not good at doing something and you're only a driver, you create your own platform. You go buy your own truck. You build your own fleet. Because if you're a good driver, you could be a good driver for your own company and make 3 times as much as you would for somebody else. And some of you may say, well, okay, Ms. Timmer, I don't have, the business smarts or whatever the case may be. I don't know how to do my numbers, but I can drive. I don't know the books, but I can drive. Then guess what? You put people in place that do know the books. You put your accountants in place. You put people in place that can do the paperwork. Because you're going to be out there making the money. So you put people in place that will do everything else. You don't have to know everything. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You don't have to know everything. I don't know everything. But what I don't know, I'll write a check to hire somebody to tell me or to do it for me. So other than that, guys, it's an hour. I wanted to bring you the story of JB and Miss Jolene, okay? Husband and wife, honey, okay? Very powerful couple, mega carrier, millions of dollars. And I respect the hustle, okay? I respect the hustle. I respect the fact of how he started his company, how he met his wife, how both of them came together and became the number one mega trucking company in the United States. I respect that. And whatever issue people may have as far as pay or whatever the case, or how some drivers didn't get paid fairly or whatever the case may be, I respect the hustle. I respect somebody that can take nothing and make it into something. That's what I respect. Okay. I talked with Landstar PLC for Freight Broker Agent face to face, and he never returned my calls after meeting him. Anthony, they will not return your calls, okay, if you do not have any experience. Landstar looks for experienced brokers, okay? They take the brokers that have a book of business, they turn a license in, and you become an agent for Landstar. So if you reached out to them and you do not have a book of business or clients or whatever the case may be, they will not return your phone call. Okay? After meeting with him, yes, that happens. They're looking for people who have book of business, and they're looking to buy back the competition. Okay, you may not be their competition if you don't have a broker license, if you don't have a book of business, if you're not bringing in money to your company, then they're not going to return your phone call. They're looking for people. They watch. And that's with most brokers. They watch and see. They have broker recruiting. You think that they have CDL driving recruiters? They have CDL. They have broker recruiters. Okay, and what they look for is they look for brokers that are in the business that may be making some money, good money, that have a nice clientele, and they will come in and they will swoop you up and take you out for a steak and potato dinner with some with a salad on the side. Okay, and they will say, you will be able to have access to 6,500 trucks, trailers, carriers. We got the largest in the whatever, and it's true. You will have access to all the customers that you want to, and it's true. Okay, so you're thinking about expanding and building your business, and a lot of people do that. There's nothing wrong with that. They give up their broker license and they go work for them because they have proven themselves that they are able to have a book of business. Okay, and some people love that because they are able to have the option to have all these trucks, trailers, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, but on my end, why work so hard to have your own brokerage just to give it up for somebody to take it back and take back your power? Okay, that's selling out. It's hard. The brokerage game is hard. It's not easy. Okay, so you gotta have to put in the work. Success is not going to come like that. You're going to have to work hard for it. And it's going to be some bad days. It's going to be some good days. But keep your identity. Keep your ownership. Don't let nobody buy you. You're not for sale. I'm not for sale. So no matter how big I get, no matter how, because it's coming. Okay? It may not be right now, but it's coming. So no matter how big I get or how many clients or what staff that I have or whatever the case may be, I'm not for sale. I can't become you if I'm under you. Does that make sense? I can't become a C.H. Robinson. I can't become a Landstar. I can't become an XPO. I can't become a J.B. Hunt if I'm under them. I want to be my own independent person. I work really hard, right? All right, guys, it's been an hour. I will talk to you guys later. The next story that we're going to cover is going to be night transportation. So you will know how they get down, okay? How they started their business, how they became very successful, and how they are the mega company that they are today, okay? This video may not be for everybody. It's for the entrepreneurs, for people who want to be entrepreneurs and to understand how this game is played. You'll never beat them at the game, but you can understand how it works, and that way you can level the playing field to become whatever it is that you want to be in this transportation industry, okay? I love you guys. Thank you so much for your time, and I will talk to you later. Peace, love, joy, and happiness, and you all have a wonderful and blessed night. Bye. Let me go back to my who was that I had on here? Hold on, let me go back to him. As we go out, Eric Thomas is a wonderful person that you can get a lot of inspiration from. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna close out. Let's go.
Oh, do you want to go first?
No, I don't think I.
Act like you playing basketball. Act like you playing football. Compete. That's what bothers me. Many of y'all are not competing. I need effort. Compete. Go to class. I just left the school telling these kids, act like you play football. Go in that doggone classroom, compete. Many of you have lost your competitive edge. Get your competitive edge back. I'm not against no other motivational speaker. I'm just competitive. Some of you are not successful because every single time you run up against the trial, every time you run up against the tribulation, you stop and you cut off beast mode. And what I'm here to tell you is, if you tell that thing, I'm here just like you here, and I promise you, I ain't leaving without the degree. I ain't leaving. I will not leave without that goal. I will not leave without that dream. I will not leave this opportunity. Which I get.